Hey guys, Chris here, and welcome to a new episode of Why Is. Today we're going to talk about why is Lunara such a good pick on Battlefield of Eternity. And I can already see some questions like, wait a minute, there's no Battlefield of Eternity in your screen right now. That's very true, because I want to be explaining what is so good about Lunara and why she's so good on Battlefield of Eternity. So I'm going to start off with her talents up until level 7, because these are very important. And then we're going to go into a replay of a recent Lunara game of mine. So level 1, I'm normally taking Blossom Swell, increases the Noxious Blossom radius by 20%. Just means you are able to hit more enemies with it, makes it a little easier to hit heroes as well. Other good talents on this is Natural Perspective, which reveals enemies if you hit them with your poison. That's good against Zeratul, Nova, but also in general just because you get vision of them in Fog of War and vents and everything. So definitely solid. The other ones are not as good. They're for your crippling spores. Basically they return mana if you hit enemies with it, which is okay. 40 mana, so you have like full mana reduced. So if you have four heroes or 4 enemies that have poison on them, you get your full mana back. But mana is not always an issue on Lunara, so it's not very good. And then Cruel Spores sounds really cool unless you realize that it's only minions, meaning it's only for wave clear. Can be okay, but you don't need it the way that I play Lunara. So let's go Blossom Swell. Level 4, in my opinion, there's only Nimble Wisp. The other ones are all pretty garbage because they don't speed up your Wisp. This is normal Wisp speed. It is slow as hell. Let's toggle cooldowns. Actually doesn't toggle the cooldown, interesting. But as you can see, it's just very slow. And then if you take Nimble Wisp, much quicker. So it's a very good vision tool, but if it's slow as it is without Nimble Wisp, it just isn't worth it, to be honest. Like, if the talents have some benefits like revealing enemies, but in my opinion always take Nimble Wisp. Okay, so we're level 7, as I said. That's where it's going to be interesting, and we're going to talk about why it's interesting in a second. So the talent that we're talking about is Nature's Culling. It does 150% more damage with your Toxin to everything but heroes. And I explain to you in a second why it's so good. Let's attack this Mercamp.
Taste my spear.
And you can see that I'm doing okay damage. It's power level of level 4 at 4 minutes, so nothing out of the ordinary. And no matter how you do it, if you hit focus 1 down or if you spread the damage as I did in the beginning, the same result will happen to you all the time. And this is, you're gonna die. So, only a Mercamp, not very important, right? So dying to it is completely to be expected. Yes and no. Yes, because obviously Nara is an assassin. She's also a very weak assassin in terms of HP, so she actually struggles quite a bit. And as you can see, even if it's only one Ogre, I lose nearly a third of my life before it goes down. So, Ogre is down. Let's collect the globe and get the well. And now we're going to play with Nature's Culling. Nature's Culling is the talent that you should be taking on most maps, I want to say. Even if it's not a map that has an objective boss like the Immortal or the Punisher. Another option is Splintered Spear. When you use your Q, basically you get 4, or you can hit 4 enemies with your next basic attack. It's pretty good. And then also Wild Vigor is okay. Crippling Spores will increase the damage of your next 4 basic attacks. So basically you get 4 crits with your next attacks. Siphon Toxin is pretty garbage. You don't have a lot of health. You don't heal a lot with the poison. So yeah.
Where's the excitement?
Quick drink with some nice water. So I took Nature's Culling, as I said. It does 150% more damage against everything, except heroes. So let's see what it does against these guys.
Love watching them
So as you can see, their health bar is dropping quite rapidly now. And I'm spreading my damage, not even focusing down on one of these guys. Again, I'm an assassin, so I shouldn't be having the advantage of killing it very quickly or without any danger, but I'd kill them. So this is already a sign of how strong the talent is. So before we took Nature's Culling, at the same level, at the same power level of the creeps, they basically killed us. And now they didn't. Cool. So let's go on level 10. Again, Blossom Swell, Nimble Wisp. We're not going to take Nature's Culling this time. I want to show you something else. We're going to go Splinter Spear again. It's an okay alternative. And then on 10, we're going to go Thornwood Wine. Well, it's going to toggle minions. So, again, Nature's Culling is really good against everything except heroes. So, why is this important? Let's see how quickly we're going to clear this minion wave. Pretty quick, right? Looks really strong. There you go. And the minion's gonna move on. I'm gonna do Arthur's a little bit more damage. And then I'm gonna do something like this. Oh, it looks pretty good, okay? Looks pretty strong, right? Okay, toggle minions again. Reset talents. And then also refresh force.
I hear the call of Kalimdor.
There you go. That's gonna be a big mini wave. We don't want that. So, now we're gonna go Blossom Swell, Nimble Wisp, Nature's Culling, and Thornwood Wine. And we're gonna toggle minions. And again, I'm only gonna use one Thornwood Wine against the minions, and then see what happens. Much more impressive, right? So, not only did I clear the wave much quicker, look at this. This is how quickly I'm gonna destroy this tower. You can see on the wall that's also taking damage how quick I'm going to take this apart. And this is to everything I'm going to attack. This is against minions, this is against mercenaries, this is against the bosses on the maps, against the skulls on on the I just can't remember the name right now. Friends of Eternal Shrines, that's the name. Infernal Shrines, sorry. It's kind of late here, so I'm struggling with names a little bit. So yeah, even on Infernal Shrines, the skeletons, they take more damage. The thing is, Nature's Toxin was recently even nerfed. It was doing 200% damage. And as you can see, this is the reason why it was nerfed. At 150% damage, it does a lot of it. And I'm going to show you how good Lunara is with it on Battlefield 30 in a second. This was the first step. Again, with Nature's Culling and with level 10, you can wreck everything. So we're going to jump into a replay analysis right now, and I will show you more about Lunara in a second. See you there. And welcome back. We're going to start the game. As I said, this is a Battlefield 30 replay of a game that I played recently. It's a Hero League match. I was dual queuing with Dopamine, who is on the Meridian, and again, surprise, surprise, it is on Battlefield of Eternity. Don't mind the Oriole has left the game messaging. She did come back, so everything was fair and square. Okay, so Lunara has a lot of things that she can do well. Laning is not her strong suit at the beginning, so you have to be very careful with her from level 1 on until probably level 7. Until you have Nature's Culling, you're a little bit, I want to say useless, but you're not very, very strong. And you can see the very, very, very painfully slow Wisp. Okay. At the beginning, you don't want to brawl too much with her. The way that Kerrigan is engaging here, you might think that we're 5 people up here. Never do this as a Kerrigan in general. Like, just jump into 5 people if your tank is not there, and if you have Murden as your, Malfurion as your healer, because he doesn't have burst healing, so he can't actually save you from something like this. So, not the best start, right? Still, I'm alive, and I spread a lot of damage to the enemy heroes. So I did do quite good damage on Oriole and Sylvanas, and also Arthas has backed up. Murden now is luckily for us rotating up, and we can clean up a little bit. And whenever you play Lunara, you always want to be putting that last auto attack in. Like, even if Sylvanas jumps away there, you want to put the last auto hit in, you want to put the last attack in, the last Q, whatever. Because with your W you can stack the poison damage up, so even if she's out of your vision, she can still receive damage. Or the hero can still receive damage. I'm happy to trade like auto attack blows here. That being said, Sylvanas does a lot of damage with her Q, because she's firing several auto attacks at once. So you just want to be very careful. great pull by our Kerrigan, and I put my Q down. And that's something that Oriel will struggle with quite a bit, because her heal is, while it's AoE, it also requires them to hug you. So Oriel can't heal everybody, and in this case she didn't even have holy power to heal him. So you can see that the poison is really powerful against heroes as well, even without any talent. So even if you don't have anything that have like Giant Killer or whatever, just make sure that you always put in some damage on some heroes. So, as you can see, the damage doesn't really work that much yet. We're winning the battle, or the race, but you can see it's pretty painfully slow. That just means that we're, first of all, only level 3, so our attack damage is not very high so far. But it also means that I don't have Nitrous Culling yet. Again, QW down so that it has 3 stacks right away. So even if I'm not there, it still receives poison damage. Have to be a little bit careful. And now, do you see this? I did 2 attacks on Vala, and then I switched right back to the Immortal. And this is the correct thing to do, because we want to win the Immortal race. You don't want to lose the Immortal race on this map against Sylvanas, because she will push you down to your keep with the first Immortal if you don't play it really well against her. So I'm switching back. My Furion has smelled blood on the water, and he kills her, but he's completely out of position now, and I can't do anything to help him. You might say, oh, you could have helped him, then you could have killed Vala much more quickly. Yes and no. Yes, we could have done that. It would be the same result because he would have been rooted. So just don't hunt for kills this early in the game. It doesn't do anything. It just doesn't give you a lot of XP. So don't do it. As you can see, I just want to try to put some more damage on the Immortal. Tychus is helping me. And Arthur did the correct move. He didn't chase me even further. He just tried to defend everything there. But as you can see, with our joint efforts, we're doing enough damage to clear house. Actually, I want to put down a little bit the volume of the game. I feel like it's a little bit loud. So excuse my noobish recording. There you go. Should be a little better. So, we won the first Immortal phase, but we're gonna lose a lot of heroes here. And this is what the enemy team does really well. They basically saw that they lost the Immortal, and then they just went for kills. Because this way, they are in the lead in experience, 3/4 of a level to be precise. And with us down, we can't really push with the Immortal, meaning that he won't be doing that much damage either. Because, again, there's nobody there. We're still trying to contest a little bit, do some damage, but yeah, nothing's really happening. Actually, Oriel saves Kerrigan here, because if she doesn't pull her back, there's like 4 people jumping on her, so now it's going to be the interesting phase. Normally, even if you lose the first one, you will be able to get level 7 before the second one spawns. This is really the most important part of the game. So now, don't die, don't jump into stupid fights, and then also always just clear the lanes and get XP. This is a great way to use the Wisp. Just put it in on the vents, so nobody can hide there and wait for you to be caught out of position. So the enemy has reached level 7, which is fine. It's not that much of a power spike for them yet. That being said, we should still be careful. But again, I put a lot of damage. You can see Sylvanas is pretty low. Vala's coming up. And again, I just want to auto attacks. Thrall has 2 stacks. Sylvanas had a stack. Sylvanas now has a stack. And like all of them have a stack. You can see all of them ticking down. So if they don't spread, if they don't stack, Oriel will have a tough time to heal them up. Okay, have a look at Tendrils yet. Level 7, Nature's Culling. And as you can see already, wave clearing is much easier for me. So I know that the Immortal phase will start soon again. Normally you have like 2, maybe 3 minutes before it comes up again, I think. Might be even a little bit less. But you have it in your gut after playing a couple of games on this map. So getting this camp before the Immortal spawns is really important, because it does a lot of damage to the minion waves and then to the buildings if it's not a contested. So your enemy actually has to kill it. This is really good for us. Spawns in a perfect situation. And this is something that I think said in an earlier video. The mortals have two stun rotations. First, you saw that at the beginning, he does the melee circle that stuns and pushes everybody away. And now I move into melee range because he will now do 2 waves of outer circles which stun on the outside, basically, if you walk into it. So we won the first phase by 2000 health. And now we're a little bit unlucky because it spawns in a position where they can easily defend it, and they want to defend it. So just put some poison on it, and I want to dance around him, and I just want to use my Q to put poison on him, and I don't want to really fight. Like, fighting is not my favorite thing to do here. I don't have my level 10, I can't poke them safely, I don't have Giant Killer yet to attack Arthas very much, and so I'm just going to try to spread my damage and trigger my poison on everybody. And Oriel should be dying from this. Yep. And as you can see, even without Giant Killer, spreading the poison can be very, very powerful. But we're still behind in levels. We're a little bit behind in XP. So we have to be careful. But we will win this Immortal race pretty convincingly, just because we killed 4 of them and they can't do anything against it. I'm moving up already, didn't collect the globes, even though I'm a little bit low on mana and health. I should have done this. Collect the middle globes. I'm collecting this one, so I'm stacking up mana and health from it. So I took Thorn Vimes on level 10. And it's, for me, it's a standard talent. You can poke from distance. I know that people think that the jump is really good for mobility reasons, but it's, for me, not really helpful. I just try to stay back and then do something from there. Okay, so this is the first fight that we have Nature Sculling and Thorn Vine. And see how I try to put damage out. Again, poison on the building, because it does more damage. Poison on the building, and I hit Sylvanas. Now I'm trying to split damage, and I'm completely out of position, which should have not have happened. Like, I should have not clumped to attack damage. I should have said top. Like, I'm basically here in the middle of the fight. That's completely useless because I'm trying to do damage on Arthas. Will I, like, realistically kill Arthas? No. If they get a good combo up, they will kill him without me. So I should have stayed top here and just attacked the fort. And then with that help the Immortal to do damage. So I'm basically completely out of position. Luckily for us, the silence ends and Tranquility turns on. And now this is the perfect re-encounter or re-engagement from us. We're all getting healed up. And that's it, we clean house. And this is what makes her so dangerous on this map, Lunara. Because now we have the Immortal pushing, so somebody is tanking for me. And you can see how much damage I'm doing to towers and walls and minions. Keep the minion waves, and look at the keep just dying with obviously like 4-5 people hitting it, but the poison does a lot of damage. Let's have a quick look. Stats: 25,000 siege damage, 21,000 hero damage. So I'm on par with Sylvanas at the moment, and Sylvanas has had quite a good engagement with Oriel and everything. So really good start for us. We got both Immortals, and I'm doing a lot of damage to them. Porting back, regenerating life and mana. Very useful. We get top camp. I see them rotating bottom. I also ping that I'm going there. And I know that I won't be doing anything fancy. Sending out the Wisp first to scout for me, so I have an eye on the minimap. Okay, I see nobody's in the vent, meaning they will doing the camp. And I'm just gonna throw them right in here. Miss everything. I just only hit 2 minions, so it was really well done. So this is really dangerous for us, because they were all here just a second ago, and we're missing some of our heroics. That being said, Sylvanas is pretty much out of position, so we got her. Again, I'm clumping up quite a bit. This is a mistake with Lunara. You should always stay way aside from your teammates. First of all, you're a good target to hit with anything, and then second of all, if somebody else is going to be their target with like thundering or like roots, like here, you just always get caught and you lose a bunch of health. So you shouldn't be staying with your teammates. This is what I'm doing is not better. And then again, I'm doing the mistake to actually walk into my enemies. Okay, you see I'm putting out a lot of damage with my teammates, and this is also because I'm getting unfair advantage. Unfair advantage now deals 50% more damage to heroes that are slowed. So with my W I can slow heroes, but also if they're hit by Thunder Tap from Dopamine, from the Meridian, they're also slowed, and I'm also doing more damage to them. I could have taken Giant Killer. That being said, they only have Arthas, who is not a very high health hero, and they only have Thrall as a second bruiser, and he also doesn't have a lot of health. So unfair advantage with the Meridian Clap helps me quite a bit, because it's applied a lot of times. And he also took Thunderburn, which is basically a second explosion for Thunderclap, and it applies another slow. So if they walk into it, and even if they walk a second time into it, they will be slowed all the time. So it's a very good talent if you have a reliable slow. I would not take it if you're only basing it on your slow, because it has a 10-second cooldown, and it can be a little bit unreliable, basically. But as you can see, we're cleaning house. I think this Tranquility was a little bit wasted, because there's nothing that we want to do here. That being said, we got 3 kills, and we're a little bit worried about the Immortal spawning, because if we're staying there, we have to take a little bit of damage of taking the towers, and then that could be an issue. But there's still 3 down, so we decide to just take their camp. And with Netto Sculling, it's going to be very quickly done. This is why you are so strong against basically everything. It does everything so quickly that you can focus on other things in a second, basically.
Nicely done.
Okay, lucky spawn. Everybody's grouped up, so very easy to kill half of it. And our top lane is always pushing, because they keep us down. So we are in a good position. I put the Wisp to the middle, just to see when they're coming. They saw it, they healed my Wisp, but it's easily recognizable that they were there. So now we should be able to do something about it. Pretty bad engagement here. We basically walk into all of their stuns and abilities. And we didn't have Tranquility, so yeah. And this is probably the worst mistake that I make this game. I also pointed out, there was no reason for me to go in there. The Immortal was already dying. And me applying the poison would have, or maybe it does, maybe it sped it up like 5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds. But it cost my life, and now we will have an Immortal that will push with nobody. So that's an issue. Okay, so no mortal, no support for the Immortal means that it will die very quickly, and we don't get anything out of this. My team is posturing to go in, but they should know that we're not all there. And we're now using a Tranquility that we shouldn't be using. The moment he put it up is really good, because it is exactly what it should be doing. It enables us to stay in the fight. The thing is, we don't want to be in the fight. We were 2 people down. I was just walking up there, so I'm way too late. Second of all, our Immortal was already pretty much dead. So I'm pointing it out again, we don't want to fight. We want to get 16 first. The Immortal is down. We can't get anything out of this. So in the end, the only thing that we can do is lose a fight and then bring them back to level 16, and then they are much better positioned for the next Immortal fight. So we don't want to do that. We take this a little bit early. The next Immortal fight will not happen for the next maybe 2 minutes. So taking this is basically just removing the objective from the map, which is fine. And they're not very much behind, so we know that we don't have a huge amount of advantage, so we just take it to make sure that they don't. Level 16, let's pause it real quick. I'm going for Starwood Spear. If I use Crippling Spores, my attack range is increased for 6 seconds, which means I just have more time to choose a target, and also be able to attack the Immortal from even further away. It's not something that will help you win more. It's a very situational pick. Very situational use, because obviously you will kind of spam your W, so this enables you to spam it, but also make sure that you basically have an answer once you spam it. This was a very nice bait, because they didn't have 16. Again, great, really great tranquility. Like our Mefurian here, amazing, because it basically started right away, and it basically meant that they didn't have anything to do against us, because they used all of their heroics on us. Like the arrow went out, and like Sundering, I think, as well, and then a Rain of Vengeance, and nothing did anything to us because we just were healed up all the time. And because we were so clumped up to gank them, it was a really good position to also use Tranquility. So it was really top use by Mafrian. So we killed a bunch of them, and now again with the damage they're putting out, it's such a quick Immortal that there's nothing that they can do against it. Obviously now it can be a bit difficult because we don't have Tranquility anymore, and they're coming back to fight as 5. But as you can see, I'm just focusing on the Immortal, and the objective is so strong that you don't need to win a fight here. And actually here Oriel just killed Sylvanas by putting her in. I think she would have gotten away if she wasn't put into the Aegis or whatever it's called. So yeah, but now we're just winning pretty handily because they don't have the damage anymore, and they also probably feel a little bit demotivated by us just winning everything, or every single Immortal. Just putting some poison out already on the building, destroying the wall. Minions are dead. Dodge this, and then just kill the well. And now we have an Immortal that goes onto the keep, and he will then also go onto the core. My teammates are arriving, so I'm not too afraid, and I don't want to back up from this, because I know that with this Immortal we can actually win. We don't need to wait for the next one, because this one will go onto core, and I'm also doing more damage to the core because the core is a building. So there you go, poison damage up on it. Again, great Tranquility. You can't silence it afterwards, so once it's running, it just is really good. Immortal is still on half health, so I'm just gonna put on some more poison, and then the Immortal will finish the game. So some last words about Lunara and Battlefield of Immortality. Basically, she's a great pick on the map. As you can see, she does great damage on siege and hero damage if she's protected. So you need to have protection for her. The tank must peel for her. It's great to have a second bruiser for her. And then enable her to attack the enemy Immortal. Like if you are the Lunara, just make sure that you always avoid getting blocked by your teammates, but also put damage on the Immortal over damage on heroes. Like it's more important to win the objective than to kill an enemy hero. That's just my opinion on Battlefield of Eternity, because the objective does much more than just killing one hero, for example. Then always take Nature's Culling on this map. Always take it on Infernal Shrines. Always take it on maps with the bosses. Just in general, when you have much to do with merking, like taking merc camps, or wave clearing, if you have a lane that you have to take, always take Nature's Culling. The other alternatives are there, but I think Nature's Culling, because of the wave clear, just wins out overall. And on this map, always make sure to take it. There's no reason for you not to take it, because it just helps your team to kill the Punisher, the Immortal, so much quicker. So always take it. And then last but not least, use your Wisp more than I did. If you watch the video there, I didn't use the Wisp very well. That's something that I'm struggling with still, to manage that cooldown. It oftentimes is like out of sight, out of mind, but it can be very powerful in terms of vision and everything. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you understand now why you should be picking Lunara on Battlefield of Immortality. Battlefield of Eternity, not Immortality. Again, it's very late already. She's a very good pick here, but always take Nature's Culling. And with combination of this and a good setup all around, obviously she will win you the map more than she will lose it you. Cool. As always, please try the hero out in quick match or unranked draft before you jump into ranked games. This is not a carte blanche to play the hero and then blame me for losing. Always try the hero, level it up, play a couple of games. Maybe grab a couple of friends and play some AI games on this specific map. It can actually very much help to learn timings and how to attack the Immortal and everything. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions about this, or if you want to have something explained in a similar fashion in the future. And as always, I'll see you soon.